Oh! I beat my record in monkey type. I beat my record in monkey type. Look at this. Oh my god. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Wow. Nobody's there yet. But I'm very proud of myself. It's like 100, 100, 100 words per minute. I'm saving this. Maybe like this, just so that it looks real. $99. That's crazy. That's like 10 words per minute above my previous record. Oh my fucking god. I reached 100 almost. Not 100, just below, but it's pretty good. Wow. So cool. Bah alors, I'm burping. I'm burping. Hello Gonzalo, how are you? Look Gonzalo, I made a world record. I mean, a personal record. 99. I got close to the 100 words per minute was my objective, you know, in this weird keyboard, you know, this weird layout that I had, you know. Finally, I'm happy. And it's also like 10 times more than the last one. Look at this. That's crazy. Last one was 86 and now I'm boom 98. That's crazy. That's crazy. Good and you, congrats. Thank you. Yeah, I'm good. I had to, I was just like reordering one of my closet and it just took way more time than I thought. So I'm a little late. Wow. I think this is like the biggest jump that I had in the history. That's crazy because when I did it, it didn't feel like a big jump in performance, especially compared to like last stream that I did where I did 1, 2. That's crazy. Wow. Ah, I'm so happy. You know, it took 2 years, 2 years to get to 100 roughly words per minute. What is the average among all users? Most people hover around on QWERTY, right? On QWERTY, most people that do not train, right? Like when they first do their first test or whatever, they first hover around 50 to 60. Like most people are between 40 and 70. Like, you know, overall in society. And then people who train the speed typing, they can get to 80, 90, 100, 120. People who actually train hard can get to like 150 words per minute. And beyond. Like I think on monkey type, the world record, yeah, the all time is 300. For the 60, for the same as me. Yeah, voilà, 280, 277. So, you know, people who train real hard can get way out there, you know? But most people hover around 60 or 50, 60 words per minute. My objective, like I think I am good enough when I reach 100. Like I remember when I was on my QWERTY keyboard. I mean the French QWERTY, the AZERTY, but it's QWERTY. My base speed with my AZERTY was 105 or something. You know, so but I had to like concentrate, you know. So I'm happy that I'm finally getting back to the kind of level of speed that I had on my QWERTY keyboard on this new layout that I am on today, which is not QWERTY. You know, it's the weird Recurva layout that I've probably showed you already. This is my layout, roughly speaking. I mean, it's not exactly that, but it's a variance of that. This well, this is the layout I'm using, you know. So it's fucking hard because you need to relearn. What happened? Because you need to relearn everything, you know. Like it's like back to. I mean, I went back like I was using another website, but when I started using this layout, I was at. It's my speaker. Connecting, disconnecting. I was at 20, but actually I used another website and I went back to 0. It's like it's like you have, you know, it's like you are typing for the first time again. You need to remember the location. You need to rebuild your muscle memory for each key, you know? That's so fucking hard. And so I started at like 5 words per minute on this other website, and when I went to Monkey Type, I was at 22 already words per minute. But this was like 2 years ago. And so across 2 years, you know, it went up, it went up. After 1 year, yes, no, I started in June 2024. So in June 2025, I know I was back on 70 already. Yeah, so it took me like 6 months to get back to average person 60. Yeah, 6 months. And then back to my original speed, it took 2 years or almost. Damn. My music guitar teacher also explained me the importance of muscle memory. I mean, yeah, that's, you know, when you are playing an instrument, and, you know, a keyboard is an instrument in a way, just not for music. But yeah, muscle memory is everything. Yeah, so, you know, I mean, it's an interesting experiment because it means that my brain, at least the first time, took 2 years to get back to the kind of muscle memory that I had on another instrument or layout or something, right? My brain, by using it every day, though. So that's, whoa, that's slow, you know? Well, I guess that now if I'm learning a new layout, I will probably get up to speed faster. But yeah, I guess I'm still not going to get, you know, to get. I guess I will need at least a year to you know, get comfortable. That's long, to get used to something new. 1, 2 years, damn. I thought that I could have done it, you know, because some people, but I guess it's the outliers, you know, like the people who learn, because, you know, on this community of custom keyboard people, there are people who are learning one keyboard layout every 3 months or so. So these people can learn very fast because they're just used to it, you know. So they just change their layout once per year or something, and they get up to speed pretty quickly because they just do that all the time. But I didn't until now. So yeah, damn. You could write a blog post about this, sharing the experience. Yes, yes, you're right. I'm thinking again about my blog post and my videos. I still have to do one. It's just I don't find the motivation, and I want to finish my coding stuff because it's been too long. I haven't finished an actual coding project. You know, when I was doing all my clips for the first 3 months of the year, I didn't have time to actually code a lot, so that frustrated me. Now I want to finish this. But yeah, after I guess I will do a little bit of blog post and a video. Hello Taras, how are you? How are you? How are you? Doing good work. Yeah, you're working right now. Yeah, I'm happy because I broken today. I've broken my personal record on words per minute. I went back to like almost 100, which was my goal. I hope I will be able to do as well next. Next, but yeah, PB, personal best. I'm happy about this. But I needed to work now on my project. So I'm gonna do that. Petit glyph. So I had a problem yesterday where I tried to add like a new font, and there was some conflicting happening that was involving the terminal font cache that I needed to like reboot. But since I have like four terminals open, I need to shut down all of them to empty the cache, and that's very annoying. So I'm just going to try to find a way to not have to do that while still preventing the conflicts between the glyphs of the fonts and the images. Do you have a fancy, unusual keyboard? Yes, I have. So my keyboard, I don't know, is this. It's a split keyboard. I have the ZSA Voyager. I have this. And on my keyboard, I don't have QWERTY or the French QWERTY, AZERTY. I have this, which is a custom layout. You know? Voilà. Yeah. Very fancy. Yes, this is quite fancy. Totally unnecessary. I mean, it's just I don't know. I got passionate about this 2 years ago, and now I have this custom keyboard, this custom layout. It's just it optimizes the finger movements and stuff. Bon, you know. But the problem is that I had, it took me 2 years to get back to speed. Basically, I started I started at 5 words per minute on this layout originally, which is like literally learning to type again, as if you are 6 years old, right? But I started on Monkey Type at 22, and from 22 it took me, it's June 2024, and so it took me 2 years to get back to my previous speed of around 100 words per minute that I had on my QWERTY layout, So yeah, I didn't think it would take that much time, even though, well, I was, yeah, I knew it was not going to be that simple. But now at least I'm back. I'm so back now. Curva, recurva. Yes, yes. People always think that it sounds like curva in Polish or Russian or something. Yeah, means bitch in Polish and Ukrainian languages. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I know. Every time I have someone, yeah, that knows this insult, they tell me, "Ha, curva." It's like curva. Yeah. So, it optimizes for all of these statistics that like QWERTY is very bad at, because QWERTY was made to optimize the machine, you know, the clanking stuff, right? And so actually we came up with much better layouts since then, right? And so basically it's much better for the finger movements. It's like way more optimized. Voilà. That's fine. Russian have nothing to do with that word. Okay. Yeah, so maybe I'm confusing. Maybe it's just Polish and Ukrainian then. Russian is a manufactured language. Okay. Do you want to see my keyboard? Yes. Sorry, Petit AI says things sometimes. Yes? Don't listen to Petit AI. Naya Create. It's 2 trackballs. Oh, you like the trackballs. Ah, yeah. You are a trackball enjoyer. Mm-hmm. At some point, I wondered if I wanted to add a trackball, because actually on the Voyager, now they have also a module. They just shipped a module for a trackball like this, that you can clip. But I decided not to, because, I must not go too far. Even I should limit myself in the fanciness that I indulge in. Yeah, pretty cool. Have a module. Ah, yeah, so there's like touchpad, trackball, tune. I like rotating. Ah, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So tell me, okay, 3. I mean, I didn't know this brand actually. Seems pretty cool. I didn't know this brand. I guess it has. Does it has it? It has 1 row more of keys. I have like 1 row less on top. Yeah, you have like 5 rows. Yeah, I have 4 rows of keys on the Voyager. And you have 3 thumb keys. I only have 2. Interesting. Yeah, the space bar, that's pretty cool. Yeah. I mean, I guess if I have to change my Voyager to something else in the future, I'm probably going to check this one, because might actually, because like, so the Voyager, it's like, so you see there's like there's only 4 rows, but at the same time you can always have more layers, and ZSA has good layer programs, but it's just that they also have the moon, because so ZSA has the Voyager that is a bit minimalistic, and they also have this, the Moonlander, which is full keys, and it's bigger. Actually, it also has. Yeah, so it's a bit of the same as the Naya. Okay, now I'm going to read what you wrote. Naya create with 2 trackball, 1 trackball for mouse, another for direction movement, arrow keys. I tried touching 2, they suck. Trackball is the best. Okay. Okay, this Brank sucks. They take forever to ship. Same with bug fixes. Maybe in 5 years it would be decent. Ah, Naya? So you don't like Naya? You don't like Naya? I mean, I guess you don't like Naya's support. Is the keyboard in itself good? Like, the touch, the feel, I don't know. Because it's pretty expensive, right? Like, I think the Voyager is like twice as cheap. It's like 200 or something. Um, yeah, the Voyager. I know they increased. Bon, they increased the price because I guess you know everything is increased now. Yeah, when I bought it for like 260 something. But I bought it 4 years ago. So I guess yeah, prices have gone up. Also in euro, it might be a bit lower priced, I guess. Not sure. At work, I have Kinesis Freestyle 2. Yeah, I know the Kinesis is very well known, but the Freestyle I didn't know. Kinesis Freestyle. Oh, okay. I didn't know they made also these. That just look like a normal keyboard but split. I didn't know they made those. I thought they only made like the well, the key well ones. Kinesis. Um, is this the advantage? Yeah, I know Kinesis for for those. I didn't know they made normal ones too. Moonlander is cool. I knew what I was buying, but it's not universally good buy. With what I was trying to say. It is my first fancy keyboard. I have nothing to compare to. Okay. You have a standard Logitech MX Master keys. Yes, I also have one. Also, actually, before buying the Voyager, I have an MX keys. Yeah. Also, and I also have the MX Master. I love the MX. I mean, before getting into the fancy, split keyboard and stuff, I love the Logitech aesthetic. Yeah, the Kinesis is also very expensive. Huh? Ooh. Hmm. Yeah. Check out Kinesis Filter 2 VIP. Kinesis Freestyle 2 VIP. Wait a minute, I'm just checking something real quick. Mm. 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 Yeah, it's cheaper. It's cheaper. $200. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's good. I guess it's especially better for people who like, yeah, who just like the traditional keyboard layout, especially for work and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. I guess uh it doesn't break your flow as much, right? Because like for the Voyager, it's like I forced myself to use it, but thank God I didn't work when I did that because would be horrible. Well, I guess most people use those at home anyway. But yeah, now I can use it at work. I guess it's possible. It was my entry level into split keyboards. It cured my hand pain. Ah, yeah. So you went into it for hand pain, yeah. I mean, a lot of people get into split keyboards because they have a hand pain, yeah. Some people also get into alternative layouts because of hand pain, I think. I didn't have any hand pain. It was just purely out of nerdiness, you know. But yeah, you know, because like just switching from QWERTY to Dvorak, for example, it keeps, you know, it keeps the movements way closer to the home row, right? And even the newer layouts keep they are even more optimized because, you know, like it optimizes for rolls and like vertical movement contrary, you know, like for example, usually the newest layouts they minimize, especially if you have like a pain on the pinky, for example, it minimizes the lateral movements on the pinky and on other on other fingers too, to lower the stress and the you know, the hand pain basically that people often have. Because what I've heard, what I've read is that a lot of the hand pain is caused by lateral movement. You know, it's like trying to hit the control key or the alt key or the shift, or, you know, and it's all pinky related. And so basically, it's way easier when you put those keys on the home row. You don't have to do any lateral movement, like, you know, the control. Like, for example, my control keys are just on control alt and win, like you know, the meta key is all on the home row. So I just have to press a bit more. Oh wow! Thank you, Nat, for the prime. Oh my god! Thank you, Nat. Thank you, thank you. It's very nice. Thank you for the prime. Thank you, Nat. How are you, Nat? VIP adds tenting and wrist cushion pads. My problem was my hand needs split specifically due to size of my body. Ah, yeah, because you were like this, right? Yeah, a lot of people have this problem where it becomes painful when you have to rotate the hands and stuff. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of yeah, reason for that. But it's just not the prime. It's 6 fucking months. Ah, yeah, you're right. Ah, yes. Wait a minute. You have wait. So what does that mean? They've subscribed for 6 months. Does that mean that you paid now for 6 months in advance, or does that mean that it's been 6 months that you've been paying, that you've been subbed? 6 months in a row. Ah, yeah. Okay. Wow. Thank you, Nat. That's so nice. That's so nice, Nat. Thank you very much, Nat, to be such a loyal subscriber. Oh my god. Damn. 6 months. 6 months. That's a lot of months, you know? Damn. Thank you very much. 6 months probably is a big milestone. Yes. Yeah, it's a big milestone. 6 months, you know? It's half a year. That's a lot of months. Damn. Need to remember to click that button. Yeah, exactly. If I stay doing this for 10 years, you will have the Twitch money. Yes. I will finally, you know, if you do this for 10 years, you will have, I will be able to have one payment. I don't remember what is the threshold. Is it like $20 or something? I don't remember. It is easier with regular sub. Yeah. 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 Attends. Let me look at my Twitch money. I don't have a lot, so I don't care, you know, about showing it. Subscriptions. Ah no, it's analytics. Earnings. Earnings. 22 cents. That's so good. Wait a minute. Start date. Like January? I guess. 19. Oh damn, maybe soon I will be able to do the first like one payout. Payout. I have payouts. I hope there's no personal information here. 24. 24. Oh damn. Maybe I will have my first. Yeah, what is the payout threshold? I mean, on the 50 they say payout threshold. Your estimated progress for the upcoming payout cycle. Payout processing begins on the 5th of the month UTC. It pays little, your top streamer. Yeah. Ah wait, payout threshold not met. Ah yeah, so I need to get to 50. Right? Okay. Ah yeah. I need to get to $50. So I need 6 more months. And then, voilà. I will be able to get my fat paycheck. My fat $50 paycheck. Oops, wait, let's delete this. Up. I think payout is configurable. Maybe I need to look at that, I guess. Buy yourself a lollipop. Yes. Actually, when I received my ThinkPad, they put 2 lollipops. I didn't know that people were still doing this. It's because I bought from a German store. So I guess Germans like lollipops. They are very nice. So they put lollipops. Someone say, oh, sorry, Yannick. Sorry, Yannick, I didn't see you. Because I was looking at my... how are you, Yannick? Sorry. Sorry. It's because the O of Nat took... I don't know. Wait, there's too many things happening. Hello, Yannick, how are you? Petit haters, don't worry. What? No? How are you, Yannick? I hope you are good. I was saying that Germans put lollipops in my package, maybe as a sexual message, probably. Especially when they delivered my ThinkPad. So maybe I thought probably some femboys behind the scene in the German PC selling, atmosphere, environment, ecosystem. So now I have German lollipops in my closet that I'm not. I don't know when I should eat those lollipops. Maybe there is a good time. Also, there are 2. So should I share the lollipops with someone? I'm not sure. At the same time, imagine I have a date that I invite at my home and I offer him a lollipop. Maybe it will be maybe it will be too much. Maybe it will be a sexual advance that maybe I don't want to do. I'm thinking about all this. It's a bit complex. I don't know what to do with those German lollipops. It's very complex. It's just things in money, Yannick. I told you. Yes. Did you see him looking the payment page? Damn. Yes. German lollipops in the closet? Yes. So when I bought my ThinkPad. I bought my ThinkPad from a German store that is called Lapstars. Lapstars? Yes, this. I bought my ThinkPad from this website because it was very very cheap compared to Amazon um, or the French websites. It's just that it has a German keyboard, but it's okay. Um, you know. And so inside my ThinkPad, they included two lollipops. See, and since ThinkPads are the femboy computers, I think there's a link somewhere, but I'm not sure. But probably. So now I'm just thinking about what to do with the lollipops, and for some reason this website is specialized in selling ThinkPads. That's interesting, but it's good because their ThinkPads are actually cheaper. Like my ThinkPad that I bought was like 200 euros cheaper than on Amazon or on any other French website. So Germans are good to me. Thank you, Germany. Thank you, Germany, for the cheap ThinkPads. You're so nice. Thank you, Yannick. Thank you, Yannick, for offering me a cheap ThinkPad. Thank you. Yes. Give one to Nat if you come and visit him. Yes, I will. And then I will watch him, lick the lollipop. And I will watch him like this. Voilà. Mm. You know? I think Lenovo bought ThinkPad brand and quality got worse. Yeah, I don't know. Before it was IBM, yeah. Um, I mean, I've not looked into it, and I mean, I think because I've looked into it already, and basically, I'm not sure if the quality has degraded that much. It's just that they bought the thing, but when they bought it, maybe they just continued doing business as usual. Not sure. Lenovo. I don't have. Yeah, I've not done my correct research on this. Yeah, I'm wondering also if it's just a reputation smell, from the Chinese manufacturers that before were, especially Lenovo a few years ago, they were doing, cheap laptops. So maybe that's why people think that, but I'm not sure if it's actually real. I would like to have some reviews. Also, I guess it depends. I mean, I guess it's also hard to say, right? Because the components have evolved themselves between the old IBM ThinkPads and the Lenovo ThinkPads. So, is it because is it because Lenovo changed, or is it because the components changed? Is it because of the CPU, the GPU, the wiring, the heatsinks? You can never be sure. But if someone made a study on this, I would like to see. And also, the one thing I have in my head is that since the Chinese manufacturers lately, right, in the last 10 years, have gone up in quality a lot to the point where they can rival American companies now. In cars, in lots of stuff nowadays, in smartphones, right? So I'm like, maybe Lenovo is fine now. Also. That's what I'm thinking. My work colleagues have Lenovo ThinkPads and told me that. Okay, interesting. I'm wondering if there's somebody who actually Lenovo ThinkPads ThinkPads worse than IBM ThinkPads? Because also there's different, quality of ThinkPads. Like if you buy a P ThinkPad, for example, I think it's like the workstations, and they are very robust, and they're also way more expensive. If you buy the T, it's like the average corporate quality. But mine, for example, is an E. So the E is like a cheap business cheap, budget business. You know. So I guess if you buy, so like I guess you need to see like what kind of ThinkPad you're comparing to. The IBM. Let's look at the comments on Reddit. Always a good source of truth, of course. The IBM era ThinkPads were a different breed. Thinness, lightness, design were not priorities. An IBM ThinkPad was meant to do work. It was guaranteed to have two things: a near indestructible chassis and an excellent keyboard. Lenovo allowed the focus on both of these elements to slip. The chiclet keyboard's switchover was pointless. There was a definite slice of the ThinkPad user base that bought ThinkPads for the 7-row keyboards. Lenovo knows this. See how they price the 25th anniversary edition with the 7-row board. To this day, the old school IBM keyboards are superior. The 25th anniversary was a brief glimpse into how good they could be if they were still the standard. For the first time, a classic ThinkPad keycap with backlit shine-through keycaps. Lenovo is willing to settle for modern ThinkPads looking the part and being passable. The things that differentiated classic ThinkPads are not important to them. They can sell on the logo alone. That's what Lenovo thinks holds the value. They even tried to prop up their own lineups by using Think branding, tarnishing the brand even further. Totally agreed. I'm not happy with Lenovo's tiny, slimy madness just for fashion. They no longer look and feel ThinkPads anymore. Emo. Oddly enough, the X1 Carbon lineup, at least as of my dearly departed 4th gen model, is one of the few modern Lenovo ThinkPads that feels as sold as feels as sold as ThinkPads of old. I guess that feels similar to the ThinkPads of old. Carbons feels dense, even though they're slim. My W541 creaks like cheap plastic. It's really obvious that there's a lot of air in the base of the chat. Typing sounds hollow, yeah. Yeah, I've heard people talking about like how in ThinkPads, like they would be so robust that you could like pour water on the keyboard and the water would go through, but the keyboard was and the computer was unaffected or something because they were like drains or whatever. And maybe they still have those in some. I'm not sure. I guess people used to love ThinkPads because they were repairable and robust, but they got less robust and practically unrepairable over time. Yeah, I mean, actually, before buying my ThinkPads, I checked how repairable it was, and compared to like an XPS, for example, I think it's still pretty repairable. So even though it might be less repairable than before, compared to the other laptops, it's still like pretty good, I think. For example, the RAM is usually unsoldered, even though some ThinkPads now have soldered RAM. So you can upgrade the RAM if you want. For the CPU, I guess no. Or I don't know, maybe. If you are really willing to risk it. The Dell one's actually my favorite. 6 years ago, Cora. I am a human. Since Lenovo took over the PC ThinkPad division of IBM, has the quality suffered? Not on the business machines. I have been using IBM PCs since about 1985. The ones I have today are as reliable as ever. It's a different story on the consumer machines. First, Lenovo and IBM are not really comparable because IBM never made any attempt to adapt to the consumer market. Second, Lenovo has made the same compromises that every other player in the consumer market has made, namely the cheapest components in the Blink GS case, because consumers buy on price only and do not consider features. Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that I noticed on my ThinkPad, and that's why I went for it on Lapstars or on this German store, is that it has the hit ad even compared to the IPS for the to the XPS Dell, the Dell XPS 14 or 16. I think I wanted to buy XPS 14 maybe. For the same price, I didn't find any CPU that was beefier than the one that I have in my ThinkPad here. You know, like all of the CPUs on laptops the same price or even sometimes higher priced than the ThinkPad I bought here had weaker CPUs. You know, I went to like CPU benchmark, you know, CPU benchmark. You go to compare and you can compare. So mine was 200x like this, and some other like the Dell XPS 14, for example. Yeah, a new XPS 14. Yeah, and like DC, like, well, I'm going to tell you the price because it will be easier to tell. I bought mine for 1,400 euros. So this is a 450 euros higher, right? So this is way more expensive than the one I bought. And yet it's weaker. It's 20, you know, the CPU mark is 20,000 instead of 30,000. That's crazy, right? That's crazy, I think. And I have a better screen because I don't know, maybe I don't have a better screen. Wait, what is the screen here? Is it it's 2K? I have a 1440p screen, I think. $2K. What is 2K? 2K? Guess it's better than 1440p. Yeah, so maybe here the screen is a bit better. But like my ThinkPad had like a better CPU, better screen, probably a better integrated graphics card because it's like an Arc 140T or whatever. You know? And it was like 400 euros cheaper. And 1 terabytes of SSD. And I think 16 or 32 of GDDR4. I don't remember. I don't remember. I mean, just to say, like, I 2K is the same. Okay, yeah. So it's a good screen. I mean, for the size, it's a 16-inch. You know, so I actually didn't. And originally, I think I wanted to buy the XPS 14 at the base. Originally, like I really like the design of the XPS 14. You know, to me, it's like It's like the MacBook for Windows, you know, the Dell XPS line. You know, it's a bit, it's kind of, yeah, the finish is nice. You know, it looks good. And I've heard the quality and also the value was very good for a long time. But like when I compared the components in the XPS that I could buy from Dell, brand new in France, and when I compared to the ThinkPads of this German store, I was like, damn, it's like way cheaper, and I have better components, a better CPU. I don't remember, but probably better RAM. You know, like so I actually bought the ThinkPad not because of the brand, but because of the components and because of the value for the price, basically. You know, so I guess ThinkPad is good enough. You know, you know. Look, and this is only 500 gigabytes SSD. I have 1 terabyte. You know, how can you beat that? I don't know how you can beat that. You can't beat it. ThinkPads are just better value for the price. You know, I think Dell might get a bit too much ahead of themselves with the pricing of these. I'm wondering if I also like, I think I also considered like the XPS 14 of last of 2 years ago or something. XPS, yeah, there's also the XPS 13. Oh yeah, so look, this one is very close to, like, this one would actually compete with the X that with the ThinkPad I bought, but I have half the SSD, half the RAM. I think I have 32. Wait, yeah, I have 32 gigabytes of RAM, 1 terabyte NVMe. I have 2560 by 1600s, so that's a bit more than 1440p actually. 120 hertz Intel, like, graphics, like in an actual, I guess it's like integrated graphics, but it has the same chip as the Arc Intel graphics cards. You know, it's like, so here I have half the storage, half the price, and this dog shit CPU. I mean, it's not dog shit, but it's way weaker. Look at this, 1800s compared to 30,000 for my ThinkPad. 18,000. Sorry, 18,000 compared to 30,000. You know, for the same price. ThinkPad. ThinkPads are good. ThinkPads are great because ThinkPads are good. Thank you, ThinkPads, for being there and bringing good value for the price, especially on the Germans. Very nice, Germany. Very nice. Thank you for the cheap ThinkPads. Oh wait, I need to. Did I export? I always forgot. Well, it's not in the right order, but fuck it. Nobody watches those anyway. It's just for archiving. Uh, bu- 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 bu. What do I need to finishing? No, I need to export this one. Up. But yeah, I learned a lot of words Germans today. Really? Wow. Cool. Toronto, Paris, Wasser. Yeah, Nat is great in German. Wow. That's a lot of words, Nat. Yes, Nat. You know, I'm like the aunts in family reunion. You know that um, confuses the names of all the males in the family. You know, it's like John, Alexander, Yannick, Nat, no. Voilà. I'm like this, but with my viewers. Isn't that great? Isn't that does that mean that we're a family after all? Oh, this is so nice. This is so cute. Okay. I need to solve this problem. I need to solve the conflicting in my app. Okay, I have conflicting problems. The Unicode coordinates points to different images that I want to. I've identified the key areas, build areas, install areas, and manifest. Next, I read those sections closely to map exactly to map exact collision vectors and design guardrail that fit curve architecture. Risks map. I mean, it didn't solve actually. It just made a plan. Let me better this glyph image and oh, we don't because I asked for a plan actually. Okay, code points are directly reassigned by sorted file order on a build. So adding, moving files can shift existing assignment to install plain font while CLI install. Install identity in is a file name slug base install. Stall. No global coordination exists for Unicode ownership across advanced particular project. No installer. Implementation plan. Introduce a persistent project identity. Wait. I need to. Voilà. No, why does it? Okay. No global coordination exists for Unicode range, ownership, no install build lock. Okay. Introduce a persistent project identity in manifest, project ID, in SRC project. Generate once, keep forever, auto migrate old manifest. Okay, add a project local glyph log file that stores store key code point plus source fingerprint. Build must reuse existing assignment and only append new one. Change code point allocation from index-based sequential to log-based stable allocator. Existing glyphs never move unless explicitly remapped. Add tombstoning in log file for removed glyphs, so old code points are not silently reused and reinterpreted by later images. Tombstoning in log file for removed glyphs, so old code points are not silently reused and reinterpreted by later images. Yeah, kinda. Because like I guess Unicode had lots of space to add fonts, right? Add a global petitglyph Unicode registry in install root, keyed by project ID, allocating these joint ranges in supplementary PUA. Make TUI and CLI use the same allocation policy. In always install project scope font identity. No plain shared name mode by default. Strengthen font identity inside TTF. Name table, so unique ID is project scoped versioned, reducing cache ambiguity between similarly named fonts. Yeah. Also I installed CacheOS. I just need to click. Ah, nice. So how did it went? Is it good? Is it like Mint? Is it as easy as the Linux Mint? Net? How does it compare? I'm curious. It was terrible because I was using the VM, but it's kind of beautiful. Ah, yeah, you install it inside the VM, okay. It's kind of beautiful. Nice. And is it like complex to install? What do you need to do once you install it? Is there like everything in, is there anything? I'm tired. Nope. There's nothing to, oh yeah, just click. Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, so I guess it's a bit similar to Omarchy in a way. It's just Arch, but easier, you know? It's an easier way to install Arch. That's pretty cool. CacheOS. Okay. Mm-hmm. And did you check like how the package manager works and the updates and stuff? Is it the same? How does it work? It gives you the option what kind of system do you want to install. KDE, Cinnamon, Hyperland. Ah, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's pretty cool. No, it uses Paku or Pacman. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's cool then. It's the same as the Arch. It means it's APT. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, on Omarchy, I have Pacman as the base, but I have Yai. It's just a wrapper that just adds some features, I guess, or something. Okay. Yeah, so it's pretty similar to Arch, say, the same way Omarchy is similar to Arch. Also Paru. Hmm. Yeah, Paru. Paku. Ah, it's Paru. Yeah, I heard of Paru. I've seen Paru. Yeah, I guess Paru is like Yai, right? It's the same kind of tool. Hmm. Maybe I will try installing CacheOS just to see, on one of my system. Especially since I have like an empty SSD, an empty NVMe drive, that I need to put something on. So maybe I'll try to put CacheOS just to compare, you know. Now that Nat, the Linux Mint enjoyer, confirmed that CacheOS is nice to install, you know, maybe yeah, maybe I will try. Yeah, the green flag has been set on CacheOS, not enjoyed it. So now I'm more willing to look into it, you know. But my VM was very bad, so I couldn't install anything to install yet. But I don't know inside the system. I mean, it's just Arch with a web app as an installer. I okay. Yeah. I mean, it's good, huh? If it's just that's all I want, you know. It's the same with Omarchi. Omarchi is just Arch with a bunch of pre-configured scripts on top of it, you know. It's just that what Omarchi does, it installs Arch and then runs a bunch of scripts that installs, you know, Hyperland, the Bluetooth module, the internet module, the audio module, you know. That's what Omarchi is. So, and that's good enough for me, you know. So if CachyOS is the same vibe, you know, I'm willing to test, huh? Especially if it's more stable, because Omarchi, you can feel that it's like a young distro or pseudo distro or almost distro, because there's a lot of stuff that you know, if you update, stuff breaks or stuff don't work. Sometimes, you know, I remember like you know, sometimes the monitor don't work or the workspace reorganized weirdly when you plug in another monitor or something, you know, and it's annoying, and well, it get fixed, right? But it takes some time to stabilize. um you know, I'm wondering maybe if CachyOS is a bit more stable about all of these you know, features or bug maybe the bug fixing has been going on for longer in CachyOS, so maybe there's less bugs around all these, you know, like IO, USB, HDMI stuff. I don't know. I guess if you use Arch install, it would be a lighter. Yes, but then with Arch install, I guess Arch install. Yeah, but I just won't get all the apps that Omarchi ships with, you know, and all the. I mean, what's important is not that I have Spotify already installed. What's important is that I have my Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, audio already configured. You know, the workspace stuff uh, already configured. The drivers. That's what's important to me. And so, you know, I would like when I install a distro based on Arch, I would like all of those to already be taken care of, you know. And I don't want to have to choose which Bluetooth module do I want to install. I don't want to, you know, think about that. Or which, like, you know, interface framework or whatever. Because, you know, like on Marchi, I know there's like they use like Elephant, Walker. For the bar, it's way bar. You know, there's a bunch of like stuff, you know, for the base like system on top of Hyperland that they use for, you know, a bunch, you know, all the menus and stuff, the system menus. And I don't want to think about that. I don't want to choose that. You know, I want to install my own apps from the AUR or whatever. But for everything that involves the base IO, the system, the booting, the restarting, the suspend, the, you know, all the stuff that has to do with the OS in itself, I don't want to, you know, I'm too lazy. The main selling point of cache is the kernel, and if you don't need it, I'd go with the stable option. If you get KD, shut up. If you get KD Plasma as an example, it works out of the box. The standard Arch install comes with most necessary things, and you can add any package you want in the Arch install. Okay. I think I mean, I'm not very familiar with Arch install. I think I used Arch install once, probably. I'm not sure. Maybe not actually. Did I? I remember it was back when Omarchi didn't have an ISO. Omarchi back then was only like you first had to install Arch and then you would download the scripts, the Omarchi scripts, and it would do all the work. But there was not actually an ISO file that would do all this thing automatically. And I think when I installed the Arch, maybe I used Arch install to install Arch, but I guess I skipped most of the things or something because I knew that Omarchi was going to run over anyway. I think that's what happened. So yeah, I didn't have a raw native Arch install experience yet. Yeah, and I remember now, actually, because I wanted Hyperland, I think because like Hyperland is a bit more bare bone than KDE Plasma, I think, right? So, and I think because I wanted Hyperland, I discovered that if I chose Hyperland, I would not have the clean OS, right? That I wanted to be lazy about. But maybe if I chose KDE Plasma, I would have got that. But I didn't want KDE Plasma. I guess that's the moment where I found Omarchi and I was like, oh, thank God. A pre-configured Hyperland Arch that I can use while being lazy. I think that was the mental process. Yeah. Mm. Printing font identity using TTF name table. So unique ID is a project scope version reducing cache ambiguity. Make install artifact immutable per build version. Automatically update current immutable per build version file name and content hash. And atomically update current active metadata. Add file locking around registry plus install the metadata. Add strict conflict checks. The project tried to use a range code point owned by another project, failed with actionable error unless explicitly forced. Update readme and migration notes in readme.md to document new guardrails. Test plan, tombstone test, cross-project collision test, install collision test, registry lock test, migration test, cache safety test, rollout strategy. Phase 1, ship project ID plus glyph lock plus stable logger. Phase 2, yeah. Okay, let's do that. Okay, let's go implement phase 1 now. Also, I did a research today, I think, about is it worth it to use 5.4 compared to 5.3 codecs in the terminal? And it turns out that no, mostly 5.3 codecs is so specialized in the terminal work, like in the codex CLI, that in some tests, in some benchmarks, it rates above, slightly above 5.4, even though 5.4 is supposed to be a better model, newer, I don't know. But actually 5.4 is made for like computer use and general purpose tasks more than coding tasks specifically. So funnily enough, 5.3 codex is both cheaper and either the same or slightly better than 5.4 for a slightly cheaper price for coding work in the terminal. It's just that 5.5 is like twice as expensive as 5.4 and 5.3. And even though it's still good. I guess like in the terminal, codex is still pretty much almost as good and for like half the price. So you just need to use codex. Mm, what did I do on the other terminals? It's not clean. Ah yeah, I needed to clean my dot files. Commit. Alors, attends. If something is not relevant to a typical dot file, like weird cache things, irrelevant artifacts, add them to the git ignore and update the index and commit what needs to be committed in an atomic way and push everything. Okay. Okay, implemented phase one, end to end, persistent project identity. Is locked back stable quit point allocation time stone. Why change? Added. Added particular for stable source file. Switch build mapping from this base to a base. If I install naming and at global unit coverage, you're looking for strict conflict enforcement. Alors, switch bitmap keeping from index-based to log-based reuse. Sample generation now reflects actual assigned code points. Added dependency for robust project ID generation. Documented new log artifacts. Tests added. Test no. Okay. Let's compact. Do I want to compact? I'm not sure I want to compact. Or maybe. Conflicting guardrails. Phase 1. Up. And do I just let it compact naturally? I just want to see. Yeah, let's just say, okay, let's implement phase 2 now. I guess it's smart enough to auto compact and save the plan. I hope. I guess at the end I will probably have it like recheck everything. Let me just save all of this. Copy. And I have it here, right? Yes. I'm wondering if inside the LLMs, I hope that the LLMs are smart enough to actually like write down exactly all the info, like a plan, and that it does not get summarized by the compaction, because that would suck. Yeah. I guess maybe after the phase 2. Yeah, maybe I will re-give the entire plan. Just to have it fresh. Just for it to have the plan fresh in its context. Apache install 2e2. Make project scope naming the single active install mode with legacy point fallback. Tell Apache TTF name table identity. Unifying install naming between 2 and the CLI. I've covered activation and Apache 2 to make project name single active install mode with legacy Plain fallback only for this tunnel patch, TTF name table identity. TTF name table that embeds a project identity, unique ID. I'm updating docs and then running full test for my checks. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm. Alors, phase 2 implemented. What changed? Unified install naming mode to project scope. For both. CLI in 2 we added default mode constant. CLI now use that default mode. To install now using the same mode. Kept legacy plain name compatibility only for cleanup discovery. Uninstall font removes default project scope to install and also legacy plain candidate if present. Install path resolution I prefers project scoped candidate first, then legacy plain fallback. A strengthened TTF internal identity to reduce cache ambiguity. TTF generation now passes project entity into name table construction. MID3 unique identifier now includes a version plus project identity. Updated docs for new installer behavior. Pre-project scoped install path over legacy plane. TTF unique name embeds project identity version. Okay. Well, let's compact. Here is the original assessment and plan for as a reminder. Now implement phase 3. It's not even half of the week, and I'm almost at half of my codex weekly usage. So bad sign. Maybe I will take an open code as Go subscription. It's $10 per month, but it has plenty of those Chinese models, that are pretty cheap. especially DeepSeek is crazy cheap. But there's also like Kimi K, Minimax, you know, GLM. Those are cheap as fuck. Because the annoying thing with the Gemini limit is that it's one every 24 hour, and like it actually depletes pretty quickly. Like it's longer than a Claude or a Codex, I guess, but yeah, it just doesn't refresh within the same day. That's a bit annoying. Maybe because and I remember 2 days ago I almost depleted both Codex and Gemini because I was like debugging my OpenClaw instance that doesn't want to work on my old laptop because I guess the CPU is too old. Now it's like, yeah, expecting better reactivity, better speed. It's annoying, right? Like you just need one problem that you can't solve in a few prompts that you need to like go back and forth and retry and do and try 1, 2, 3, 4 times the same problem to just explode your usage, like it depletes all your quotas. But that's a bit annoying. Maybe I should use open code for that with the cheap Chinese models to help me when I have these problems. What is he doing? Confirm the current baseline is green. I guess I'm reading the exact building so internal to the registry. No. On the key hook. I have enough context. I'm proceeding with a concrete phase 3 implementation at the global Unicode registry. Add log file primitives in install for cross-process safety. Global registry lock install metadata lock. Same lock stop to serialize install. I hope he knows what he's doing because like I've never done this. Add the registry API used by build. Ensure each project idea has an own disjoint supplementary PUA range. Yeah, that's good, I guess. Auto allocate new ranges for new projects and force strict conflict checks when existing lock code points overlap another project's owned range. Wire build allocator to use registry owned range start instead of index-based shared start, while preserving stable, particularly for log behavior and tombstones. Add concurrency safe atomic rights for registry update and install metadata rights. By the way, has any of you tested the 14? No, fuck. Wait, I'm going to do it now because I'm still in 1080p. I forgot to update. Where is it? Okay, I'm shutting down. Maybe I will try to do the no, not like this actually. How can I do that? Not like this. I need to like kill the process or something instead of closing it. Going to be top. Okay. I'm going back, okay? It should be not like this, but it's a controlled crash. Okay, I should be back. I should be back in 1440p now. I hope. I hope it's true. I should be back in 1440p. Is it true? If someone hears me, can you check if I'm available in 1440p now? If you refresh the page. Maybe I can check that myself actually. If I refresh this and I check. No. Show player. There's no 1440p. 1080p. On my iPad, 1080 is the max. Okay, let me try shutting down the stream. Well, there will be 2 VODs. I don't care. Let me try shutting down the stream. Read. So stay there, okay? I'm shutting down the stream and I will go back. Like properly, you know, like